I don't understand. This human girl that Doma brought in so suddenly. I don't understand her. Kogashibo and Yin stood alone in a large space after Gyokyo had left, the two just staring at each other as if trying to unbury their secrets. Secrets that they wanted to keep hidden. Finally, he said, "You, how do you know?" How did I know what? She tilted her head, placing a finger to her chin as if contemplating what he was asking her. Was it how I knew of Tatsugini Yurichi, or how Kibutsuji is afraid of him? Or is it how I knew of you, Tatsugi Michikatsu? All of the above. He crossed his arms over his chest as he stared down at her. What should I tell him? I can't just say, "Oh, I'm from another world where I read about you in a manga." I'll just go with it. Well, Yin stared as she slid down the wall and sat down, her body still aching even though all of her visible wounds were healed. I heard it from someone. A person named, I'm going to butcher the original author's name, so I'm so sorry, Gyoharu Gotoyu. They told me this amazing story that featured so many different people from all different eras. It was so beautiful that many times I almost cried from what they were saying. A story that moved you to that extreme? Kogashibo looked doubtful at her words. Of course. Recounting how she had indulged in the Demon Slayer anime in a couple days until the Swordsmith's village arc, and considering she wanted more, then read the entire manga from start to finish, finding that every storyline, that every branch from the main one was beautiful and so well told. I'm just going to say Kyoyoharu had this way with words, like you could visibly see it unfolding in front of you as they spoke. Did they tell of you how they came to know me, of the 12 Kizuki? Kogashibo continued to throb, desperate for answers from this girl who he knew had them, just not telling them. No. Yin shook her head, knowing that both he and everyone there were all figments of everyone's imagination. They never did. Then how? His mind couldn't wrap around the fact that somehow this mysterious person that Yin was speaking of knew of his and others' whole life story. Some that have happened more than a human lifespan ago. How did they know? Tell me. I already did. I don't know how they knew. I just met them by chance, and they merely wanted to lend an ear for their story. Have I met them before? No, but they know you. What? Ugh. I know it doesn't make any sense, but you'll just have to believe me. I don't. Kogashibo's eyes narrowed whilst his hand then moved to grip the hilt of his sword in a menacing stance. And that's the problem. Looking up to meet his eyes, Yin once more was surprised by him when she merely smiled instead of resorting like she usually did. He found it strange that she seemed so at ease around him sometimes, that it was almost made him forgot that she was still human. He found everything about her so strange, from her unusual power of regeneration even after death, to this story which he didn't even know if it was true or not. He just didn't know how to explain it. He didn't know why he felt both unease and relaxed around her at the same time. He just didn't know, but he desperately wanted to find out. You don't have to believe me if you don't want to. Yin shrugged. As she pulled her knees up to her chest, she rested her chin against her legs, averting her gaze once more. But it's all true. It really wasn't. I feel bad for lying, but again, I just can't reveal that he's not even real. Oh God, I'd probably die. The only reason I still remember the story now is because I was so moved by it, writing down all that I could remember in hopes of one day telling someone else of this great masterpiece. She mumbled, another lie into her legs, the bare skin cool against her cheeks. I assumed that everyone in Gyoharu's story was fictional, but imagine my surprise when I stumbled upon the Demon King himself and his 12 Kazuki. Or, I guess you could say when Doma found me after raising a village on the ground. I see. Kokushibo answered after to beat the silence. Then, I thank you for telling me. And I wanted to tell you, Michikatsu. She used his real name, his form shuffling at the foreign word that had slipped through her tongue. I wanted to tell you because I also wanted to remind you of everything before you became a demon. I wanted to remind you that you are loved, that you are respected, and that you are wanted. And the tension of the room nobility grew thicker. Yin knew what had happened, but she had to say it. You can hate me all you want now, as I know you hate everything about your human life as a human. Or, at least, that's what you want to believe. But I don't think so. She hummed as she stood up and dusted herself off before moving to exit the room. She immediately stopped when Kokushibo appeared before her. In a second. His hair hid his expression, but she could tell from the way his muscles tensed that he was, refraining from doing something he would regret. Why? I keep asking myself this question, but I need to know. He then looked up, an intense emotion that she couldn't quite pinpoint resting in his gaze as he searched her features. Why do you think I wanted to know this? Why do you think I wanted to remember this? What made you think I wanted to learn any of what you're speaking about? Because Yin tilted her head as she gave Kokushibo a bitter smile. You look so sad at the end of that story. It's time for Toagawa Era Secrets. Yep, plural. I've been saying it wrong this entire time. But Kokushibo is normally a calm and collective individual who doesn't let his emotions get the best of him. But, there was something about Yin and her story that he just couldn't ignore. Yin really likes Kokushibo as a character and does not wish for him to be as miserable as he was in the demon slaying manga. And, well, technically now anime. Yin is still a bit sad that she never was able to find out who Gotakaru really is, if they were planning at all to reveal their identity. Anyways, I love you all so much. Bye! Mwah.